So I gotta write some stuff.
We'll go.
All right, I'm gonna take the bike though.
I'll take my truck. Don't worry.
I'll run it up in the back. All right, man. We'll see you.
Thanks. See you later.
I got to thinking the other day, and I've known this for a long time, but in Europe, especially in England, they have a much different process in order to get your motorcycle license. Here in the States, basically, you go take the Motorcycle Safety Foundation course, a safety course. You know, you spend a weekend, less than 12 hours, maybe 4 and 4. I think it's about 12 to 14 hours in class on the bikes and stuff, doing that, and then you go to the DMV, the DPS, and you get your endorsement, and then you're legal. That's all it is. You take 4 hours of book work and I think 8 hours on the bike, or maybe it's more than that, but I don't remember it being more than that. And that's it. And once you get that, you can ride any bike, any size, anywhere on the public streets. So if you really wanted to, you can go get your license, and then you can get the biggest, most uncontrollable bike that you could find, and you're perfectly legit. Now, how safe is that? I don't know. A lot of people here in the States have their first accident within the first 6 months, and I had mine at 3. And I honestly don't believe. Well, it could have been, whatever, but in Europe, England, I'm thinking specifically, they have different methods. Like, you don't just go spend a weekend in a classroom and then you don't just spend a weekend in a classroom and then go hop on whatever bike you want. You have to spend an amount of time in each certain classes. Like, I think you can't go bigger than a 125 once you get to I don't know, I have to do some research on it, but you can't take they have different rules too, but you have this big L on the back of your bike, and I think on the front too, to let people know that you're a learner. And you can't ride over a certain size bike until you get to a certain point. So you basically have to graduate. And I think by the time you get to the really big bikes, you've got a lot of experience, and you know how to handle yourself in most situations. And I don't think that it keeps them from having accidents. I mean, that happens all the time when you're on the street, but I think it makes the riders much more prepared. And I feel that if we had something like that in place here in America, we'd probably have a lot fewer motorcycle accidents. But it's not going to happen because of the freedom we have. We have, same thing with our regular licensing program. You spend X amount of time learning how to drive in the classroom, and then you spend a certain amount of time behind the wheel. But, it's not a guarantee that you won't have an accident or whatever, but, it's not that. And I don't know how regular driving is for other countries are, but I mean, I think here in America, ours is pretty good for the most part, but maybe it could be better. But definitely with the motorcycles, I think it's a safety issue. And I'm not on my bike. I'm gonna take some pictures for my Instagram. In case you guys don't know, I have an Instagram for the bike. The YouTube channel is obviously Ginja NingerMan, but my bike's Instagram, which I would love for you guys to check out, is Ruby Goldberg 650, which Ginja NingerMan, Ruby Goldberg 650. I made those. Go follow me on Instagram. I try to put a picture on. I think I have put a picture on every single day I've had the bike, or since I started the account. So one of the things I do, and I've done it in videos, is I go out, I try to take as many pictures when I go, so I don't have to like force myself to take more pictures, whatever. It's like at one point I was going out every day and I'd take one picture, and I was like, this is ridiculous. I need to go out, spend an hour or so out on the road, take pictures, multiple spots, take 5, 10 pictures, and then upload them. And then upload them on whatever days. So that way I could get, and that's what I did when I was on vacation. I didn't have my bike with me, so I couldn't take pictures, but I went out and I took about 10 or 15 pictures and just scheduled them to so that way I'd have them, so that way I could post them from wherever I was and not have to worry about falling behind or whatever. So yeah, I think the motorcycle licensing system here in America could stand to have an overhaul. I think it could stand to have a little bit of a change, because they got it closed off. I wonder if I could duck under there. Well, it's going to be closed off on the other side too. The bike fits. Well, if nothing else, I have to come back this way. I don't know if they have security out here during the summer. But I think when it comes to the licensing here in America, I think they just put it put the burden on the, yeah, I can't go into that one for sure. Put the burden on the riders, hey, you know the basics, get out and do your worst or whatever. So in that sense, it puts it on the riders. If you want to be a better rider, go out and be a better rider. But I think it also kind of leaves a lot to be desired. And same thing with helmet laws. Like, personally, I don't think it should be a law that you have to wear a helmet when you ride. But I also think it's dumb to not wear a helmet. Because even if you just fall down going walking speed, you could give yourself a concussion. You're not guaranteed. I want to get up there, but I don't see a ramp. You could just fall down and hit your head and seriously injure yourself in your own home. So you add speed on top of that and super hard concrete or asphalt or whatever it is, there's a ramp. And you're just begging for a vegetative state or death, my accident back in November, I gave myself a concussion. It was pretty rough. See if I can get a good picture here. So yeah, same thing with seatbelts. I don't think it should be a law that you're required to wear seatbelts, but I think it's a good idea to wear them, Let's see if this works out. You know, actually, when it comes to seat belts, I think probably the best practice is if I don't like that chain. I wish I could be on the other side of that fence. It'd be nice. But yeah, like I think best case for a seat belt would be if you're over 21, it's your choice. If you're under 21, I'll make that 18, I guess. If you're under 18, you're required. If you're between 18 and 21, it's at the driver's discretion, maybe. I don't know. But anyone under 18, I think, should be required to wear seatbelts in a car. Same thing with helmets. I think if you're operating a motorcycle over 21, your discretion. Under 21, required. If you're a passenger on a motorcycle, required. So, I mean, that's just my thoughts on it. But that's, this is Rattler Stadium. This is the high school stadium here in San Marcos. Forget when they finished it, within the last few years. It's really nice. I've been here a couple times. My younger kids, or I should say my older kids, are in band, and they do, I think my oldest boy, they've done 2, I think they call it Little Rattlers Night, and the kids come out and the band plays and the whatever. They play with the marching band. So it's kind of a neat little deal. They built this whole sports complex, multi-million-dollar deal. So overall, you know, it's really nice. They have nice facilities overall here. Oh, did this? No. Breaking the law, breaking the law. So, I mean, that's my take on it. And I think if we were to ever make any big changes to the licensing issue with motorcycles, it'd have a big fallout, you know. And you know, my neighbor has been riding for, gosh, I don't know how long. He said he's been riding since he was a kid. Never gotten his endorsement. He doesn't wear a helmet. At most, he wears boots, jeans, and a leather vest. He's in the colder weather, he wears something to keep him warm, but that's about it. So, I mean, that's fine if that's what he wants to do, but he knows that any fall he takes could kill him. He knows this, so I can't fault him. If he took the attitude, oh, I'm not gonna fall, so I don't need to wear a helmet, then I'd be like, yo, bro, you're uninformed. Knowledge is power. You need to know. But he's been riding for a long time, and he's up on things, as it were. So that's that, I guess. But yeah, I can stand to see something a little bit more involved when it comes to motorcycle licensing. And it's purely to make things easier for those who ride. I think, you know, you graduate, you know, you can't ride anything over a certain cc until you get a certain amount of time in seat, past a certain whatever. I don't know how it's done, but I kind of think that, I mean, I don't know the European English system that well to really comment on it, but I think they have it right. But it seems like you have to go a really long time before you can graduate to the next size bike. You know, and that being said, I think that most people that buy motorcycles are smart about it. They don't buy a bigger bike than they can handle, or at least they think they can handle for the most part. And then once they're ready to upgrade, they do. And that's kind of the same thing I did with this helmet. The first helmet I got, I just bought what the guy at the shop suggested. And it's an all-around, the Icon Alliance, it's an all-around decent helmet. Nothing special. It kept my head from splitting open when I fell off the bike. But after I had ridden for a while and wore that helmet, I knew there was things that I wanted that helmet didn't give. I wanted the drop-down visor. I wanted the pin lock visor. I wanted the ratchet clip, so that way I could just take the helmet off when I needed to. Seemed like there was some other things that I wanted, but that was mainly it. I wanted the visor, I wanted the pin lock, and I wanted not the D-rings. And this is the helmet that I ended up getting, the Kabuto Fuente Kamau. It's a weird name. And they had different colors and stuff when I ordered it, and this one was one of the few they had in the size that I needed. And I figured, hey, this helmet would go with whatever bike that I end up getting.